Hello and good day to all you freaky pauper anomalies out there. And welcome to another day, another episode of Mono Red Dredge. And what better day on a Friday than to play Magic with all my friends out there? That's right. You're my friends. And if you want to be upgraded to best friend, please consider subscribing to me. In any case, we're going to be playing a slightly different build of Mono Red Dredge today, so I'll just go over some of the differences real quick here. The main difference is we're going to be running Magmakin Artillerist, which I've seen in a few 5.0 lists and a few challenge winning lists. I was kind of underrating it at first with the 3 mana cost, but you can always cycle it away if it's too expensive, and it basically gives us a different way to pressure the opponent that kind of gets around Grave Hate, because we discard a lot of cards between the Burning Inquiries and the Cathartic Reunions, so could be a lot of extra damage. I did a little bit of testing. In one game I resolved one, it stuck around for a turn, and then I did 7 damage off of Burning Inquiries and Faithless Looting. So that was pretty cool. Hopefully we can put it to the test in this video. We're also going to be running some Cathartic Reunions, and then we've got a split of 2 Cathartic Reunions and 2 Stormshriek Faeries in this version of the list, just because I want to up the creature count a little bit, but we want the Cathartics because it synergizes with the Artillerist a little more. So I'm going to try a 2-2 split there. And also something to note, I went up 1 land. If you've watched any of my videos, you see we have a few games where we struggle to get that second land, or we struggle to get a good opening hand where we can reliably hit our second land. So hopefully maybe this smooths it out a little bit more and helps us resolve the Artillerist a little more easily. And that's another reason why I wanted to add some of the Stormshriek Faeries to up the creature count. I don't really expect that we'll be casting any or many of these, but the fact that it's a creature is really nice with a looting spell. Sideboard real quick, we've got it's mostly the same as previous weeks. We've got the brown scales for the aggro matchups. We got Siege Smash to fight against the Artifact Grave Hate. We're going to be trying out Molten Rain. I've been seeing Molten Rain floating around in some of these sideboards. Could be good against Ponza, maybe even Elves on the play. Not exactly sure which matchups we'll be bringing this in, but seems good in certain cases. And yeah, we're going to try our best out there. Wish me luck. Please, please, please. There's a lot of Grave Hate floating around out there right now, so it's a little bit of a rough time as a Dredge aficionado, but we're going to give it a go. All right, I'll see you in round 1. Okay, round 1. Let's get this show on the road. And by that I mean mulligan. Looks like we'll be on the draw. Ay. We definitely need to find a second land. I think we'll keep it. We'll trust in the power of our 17 lands. We've already mulliganed once. Probably send back a Neonate. We are on the draw, so got another look at a land, and then perhaps a Burning Inquiry, which is kind of an unreliable way to find a land, but we'll see. We are up against Tron of some sort. I know the Flicker Tron has been very popular, so we'll see if it's that version. Looks like they might be on track to hit Natty Tron if they are so inclined. Okay, now we're in trouble. We did not draw that second land. We probably just Burning Inquiry off the dome here. Oh, the cat is freaking out in the background for some reason. And we find our lands. That's good. We did We did end up with nothing else to play this turn, so a little awkward on the Burning Inquiry. We made them discard a mine and a power plant, so I'm going to be pretty mad if they if they kept a tower through that. But yeah, it looks like that's all we can do this turn. Let's see what they've got. Oh, they do. I really thought we'd mess them up with the Inquiry, but we'll see. Let's hope they have a lot of nothing. It doesn't look like it. Looks like they're off to a strong start with a Mole Drifter, so we got to fill our graveyard fast. We're going to be going full Stinkweed Imp mode. We've already got a Lotleth Giant. We've got a Sneaky Snacker. Burning Inquiry could mess them up. We probably Stormshriek Feral, just discard the Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, let's try that. Oops, sorry. If only we could cast the dragon. We need to flush out, discard Stinkweed Imp. We find the Dread Return, so we're on track to combo next turn. Let's just fill our graveyard as much as possible. We do get back a Sneaky Snacker. We will attack. My cat is wigging out in the background. Going to the bathroom and such. Hopefully she gets that out of her system. Maybe she has to take a big Okaba Gang Shinobi. Okay, let's see what our opponents got. They discarded Mystical Teachings, so they can flash that back, but maybe slows them down a little bit. They did lose a Ghostly Flicker, but they're piecing together their plan pretty smoothly here through our Burning Inquiry, so that's not good for us. See if they decide to attack. They're going to hold back the blocker. That's unfortunate for us because we're not too far away from winning here, but be surprised. Yeah, they don't resolve anything. Interesting. So maybe they have some counter spells. Maybe they have some counter magic that they're holding up that, what is it, Condescend or something. Maybe we can hit them with a Burning Inquiry first and see what happens. We can also swing in. This is the tricky thing. I want to be able to swing in and bring back the Sneaky Snacker. But if we're going to swing in, we need to decide if we want to reanimate a Molten Gatekeeper right away. We have an Epicure, potentially. Let's just reanimate one Gatekeeper and swing and see what they do. See if they want to trade off with the Sneaky Snacker. They do. Okay, Mole Drifter down. I guess they probably counter the Burning Inquiry. Yeah, if they could have multiple counter spells too. They've got so much mana. Oh, okay. Okay, so they lose. Okay, they lose Moment's Peace. It's a little tough for us, but Moment's Peace is combat damage only, so it does not affect Lotleth Giant. What are they doing? Mystical Teachings, instant or a card with flash. Okay, they're finding something. What do they find? They find Breath Weapon. Okay. And they've lost the crop rotation. One of the risks if they have Bojuka Bog is they could instant speed exile a graveyard, but maybe not, that they lost the crop rotation. Now that they've telegraphed the Breath Weapon, I think we really want to get out our... We want to get out our Lotleth Giant right now because we're going to lose all our creatures. I'm doing that post-combat because I want to fill my graveyard some more. We'll play, even if they have a Condescend X1, we've got a land to buffer against that. And then, yeah, we're going to try to Dread return our Lotleth Giant. Okay, they are F6'd. Down to 2 life. So we've got them on the ropes, but they're untapping with a lot of land. They probably, they've got a Moment's Peace. They might have a Weather the Storm. Okay, they've got a Wall. Wall we're not too worried about. Let's see, they get crop rotation back. Okay, so probably going to be going to fish for their Bojuka Bog. Which is unfortunate. They can get rid of our sneaky snackers, so we're probably not winning next turn. They sacrifice their island, find Bojuka Bog. Okay, so the nice thing was that Burning Inquiry at least let us get the Lotleth Giant down, but not so nice thing is they've got a handful of cards, they've got Moment's Peace, they've got a blocker, so they can stall us for a few turns, and that's not a good position for us to be in. We probably will try to resolve a Molten Gatekeeper for some inevitability. Ooh, we could also Scrapwork Mutt. Okay, I think we gotta attack. We gotta run them out of their resources. My cat is wigging out. I don't know what the deal is. Ephemerate. Ugh, okay. What a slog. They get Ghostly Flicker. Sure. Okay, they're tapped out. We're gonna try to Molten Gatekeeper and then find a couple creatures. Let's see. We've lost 3 Molten Gatekeepers, so this is our last one. So we're not gonna find another one of those. They're gonna Ephemerate their wall. Oh no, they returned Ephemerate to their hand with the Ephemerated wall. We've lost 2 Dread returns, we've lost a Lotleth Giant. I don't think we're winning with Lotleth Giant most likely, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't like this position we're in. They're at 2 life, so there is a window, but they've got so much going on. They have to have a Weather the Storm or something to mess us up. Or even just Pulse of Marasa. They can find anything in their deck, basically. Unwind, okay. They're bringing back a counterspell. Unwind was 3 mana, counter target non-creature spell, okay. Ephemerate. Ugh, I should F6. This is painful to sit through. We do have a window if we can find a creature to cast, perhaps. Can they just make infinite mana now, or what? Probably. There's the Weather the Storm. Ugh. Yeah, we're probably done now. Don't like our position. They are tapped out. They cannot Moment's Peace. But they're back up to 20 life. Ay, ay, ay. There's a Lotleth Giant. Discard. Discard. I mean, I don't even know if I play this out. Probably gonna concede here, just to save time. We'll wait one more turn. Just gonna F6 and let them. Let's see how irreversibly screwed we are. Just for educational purposes. Ah, so close too. We were 2 damage short. They got double breath weapon. Or they got infinite breath weapon, huh? What can we do to get out of this? We would need more of our Molten Gatekeepers in the graveyard. I mean, next turn we can get back Scrapwork plus Molten Gatekeeper. In theory, we have 1 Sneaky Snacker. If they don't gain life this turn, we'll play it out one more turn. They exile their graveyard again. I think that's all of our hopes and dreams. What a slog. Yeah, they can just flicker Bojuka Bog whenever they want. Alright, we're done. We're done. I give up. Okay. Darn, we were so close. Let's see. Siege Smash, I don't know. I guess Molten Rain. It'll be a little slow, but we're on the play. Siege Smash, I don't know if they're really gonna. I think they're gonna focus on the artifact, or sorry, the Weather the Storm plan. Yeah, I don't think they really have. They've got Bojuka Bogs. We're not gonna outmaneuver their grave hate. We just gotta go fast. So bring in some Molten Rains. Go down a Burning Inquiry and a Cathartic, but Burning Inquiry kind of messes them up, so we want some of those. Pyroblast, I don't want to dilute the plan too much. Pyroblast could trip them up, potentially, but I don't want to dilute the plan. We gotta go fast. I don't know what else to say. We'll be playing first. This is a keepable hand. We'll probably kick things off with like a Burning Inquiry to mess them up, potentially, or maybe a Neonate to get a threat down. Yeah, in this situation, is it best to resolve a Neonate? I want to get at least 1 creature down. We'll probably Faithless and then Inquiry next turn. They got their power plant. They got an expedition map. That's rough. So maybe we should have inquiried, because now if they discard one thing, they might have information to, change what they're grabbing with the expedition map. Maybe I should have trusted in the power of the inquiry first. Let's Faithless. Discard. And then we will inquiry. Might I inquire? Okay, they lose a tower and a power plant and an impulse. Let's hope they really needed that tower. Okay. They don't have a Tron land, so they're a little slower, but they're gonna find whatever they need soon. Probably 2 turns until Tron is online. I really want to bring the Snacker back. I don't think we can. I think it's a Faithless looting turn. I really want the Snacker in the graveyard before we inquiry. Maybe we'll mess them up. They've got to grab a Tron land. They'll play it. Maybe we'll mess them up next turn with an inquiry. Let's Faithless looting. Discard. They expedition map. Bojuka Bog. Boo. Okay. Okay. Well, let's hope it takes them a while to get to Tron and we can rebuild something here. This hand is not really rebuilding vibes. Let's play the Neonate first. Inquiry. Okay. We got a Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard. They lost 2 Mnemonic Walls and an Energy Refractor. Okay, we will probably... We want to... Probably got to hold the Scrapwork. I want to use its looting effect. We need to find a Stinkweed Imp fast. They find an Expedition map. They crack it, okay. They're gonna play... What do they find? Or is this mine? Okay. They're all mined up. Molten Gatekeeper. We'll probably discard that to Scrapwork Mutt. We'll just get him for 2. Scrapwork Mutt. Discard the Gatekeeper. Oh my god. 17 lands is great, you guys. Feels great. We'll play a land. This is not the fast game plan we need to win. We needed to come out explosive with Stinkweed Imps. Yep, they have Tron. Through our many inquiries. Bummer. Now they got their engine online. We don't know what's left in their hand, but okay, there's Breath Weapon, sure. Let's do some looting in response. Not great value for them, but they've got a ton of open mana anyway. Sneaky Snacker is not what we wanted to end up on there. Oh my golds. What a terrible, terrible day to be Dredge. Bojuka Bog is really hard to interact with, especially if they can probably flicker it every turn at this point. I think we're pretty cooked. Or nor, my beloved graveyard stands no chance. We almost had, if we knocked him down game 1, there's probably a way, if I had, hindsight. If I go back and watch the game, there's probably a line where we could get that extra 2 damage in. Another Ghostly Flicker. Oh, Blue Elemental Blast. I mean, we're pretty done here. I'll probably pack it up in a second. Yeah, let's see what they grab. Pulse of Marasa. All right, we're done. We're done. They're gaining life. They can Bojuka Bog whenever they want. We've got no cards. Yeesh. Terrible matchup. I guess you need the Molten Rains early. Molten Rain and Burning Inquiry to make them hiccup, and then we need a Stinkweed Imp to get going. But let's hope for better luck in round 2. Yeah. We had a better matchup against the old Altered Tron deck, but this new version is tough. Very tough. We need to find lands. We will be on the play this game. Come on, deck, please. Please. Is anyone else watching this? We gotta go down to 4 or what? I guess we've got to surveil. I don't want to go down to 4. We probably get rid of Neonate and Artillerist. So sad. And that goes in the graveyard. But I mean, maybe we should have gone to 4, but what a bad way to start the match. We will not dredge. We find nothing. Okay. Maybe we should have gone to 4. We did go up a land, as you know. So I was really hoping to find one of them. Yeah, conduit pylons is hurting us big time here. I did go up to 2 conduit pylons over... I've been bouncing back and forth between 1 and 2. 2 usually feels better, but it looks like they also stumbled on lands. Huh, interesting. They brainstormed. I was so focused on my lack of lands. Did not think about them. So we don't want to draw them into lands, that's for sure. We want to find our 3rd land and then we can start dredging. We probably Stinkweed Imp just to be mana efficient, or sorry, Scrapwork Mutt, discard Snacker. We find our 3rd land. Okay, so we're in Dredge City now. Okay, they find a Lorien revealed, so they are gonna hit their land drop. Let's see if they can bring back their Snacker. They go for a tap land. Okay. Okay, so we've got we both stumbled. We've got a little bit of time to piece it together. This looks like the blue-black terror deck, perhaps? I wonder if they have terror or if they are just doing like the Monarch thing and they have yeah, Spell Stutter sprites are a little rough for us. I think this version usually runs a Spell Stutter sprite. Okay, we want to bring back our Snackers, so we will be using Burning Inquiry, but what do we want to cast before that? We can Epicure? We can Epicure and then leave a land up for Blood Token and then Burning Inquiry. I think that's the plan. So let's attack first. Want to use all our mana. Conduit Pylons, a little awkward. We can't cast all of these, but it's okay. We'll hold back the Faithless Looting. Maybe it'll end up in the graveyard. We'll see. But let's get our field going. Okay. They are going to get their Sneaky Snacker back off of our Inquiry. That sucks, but we get 2, they get 1, so I say it's a worthy trade. We find a Scrapwork Mutt and another land. Both our Stinkweeds are in the graveyard. So feeling pretty good about where we are now, but our opponent's going to start getting going. They lost a Bajuka Bog, which is pretty big, and 2 cast downs. So they might have trouble dealing with our creatures here. Yep. Burning Inquiry, sometimes randomly you get rid of that key Grave Hate, but they've got a lot of ability to dig for more, so we'll see. They're representing maybe Spell Stutter mana. They can't counterspell with this, but they can Spell Stutter for 2, so that's something to keep in mind. They could Spell Stutter our Scrapwork Mutt, which is not the worst. I think I'll keep it in hand. We'll Dredge. We find Lotless Giant and Dread Return. So let's fill our graveyard. And we'll probably be trying to piece together a Dread Return. What else could they have? They could have Spell Pierce for Dread Return. So maybe we Dread Return with mana up. I may bring back... Yeah, so maybe, under normal circumstances I would Scrapwork and Molten Gatekeeper, but I'm a little scared of Spell Pierce. Scrapwork would fill our graveyard a lot more. I kind of want to just Molten Gatekeeper. an attack and see what they do. Okay, they take a bunch of damage. We will Dread return Lotleth Giant. Sack, sack, sack. We'll keep the Sneaky Snacker. We should be protected against counterspells. If we had bigger balls, we could have Scrapwork Mutted first. That probably would have won us the game, but we would have been vulnerable to being blown out, I think. Although, we had 2 Dread returns, so if we Scrapwork Mudded first, maybe that would have been better. I guess we don't need to be dredging either. Okay, well, let's see what they can do, though. We've still got a formidable field for them to take care of. They need to take care of our graveyard. They need to get rid of our creatures or produce a bunch of blockers. We've got a gatekeeper in the graveyard, so we've got ways to ping them. They go and look for a swamp. They do not have a Bojuka Bog. What's their plan? Cast down? We've got another Dread Return Lotleth Giant. Gurmag Angler does not help them. They probably have Counterspell. Perfect. The dragon. Okay, so I think what we want to do is Gatekeeper and then flush out, bring the Snackers back. That's nearly lethal by itself. And even if they counter that, we can Dread Return Lotleth Giant. Yep, there's your Spell Stutter. Cool, and then we Dread Return Lotleth Giant. Sack, sack, sack. Here we go. Yes, that was smooth. Okay, so we stumbled at the beginning, but luckily our opponent also stumbled. Okay, so they've got Snackers and they've got Gurmag Anglers. I'm liking all these Gurmag Anglers I'm seeing floating around. It looks like we probably need Pyroblast. Inquiry, not as good with their Sneaky Snackers. We'll leave the Artillerists in, I think. We want to go down primarily Instants and Sorceries if we're bringing Instants and Sorceries in so we can keep our creature count high. They've got Bojuka Bog. They probably have Nile Spellbomb too. But maybe not many Nile Spellbombs. We've got to dodge 1 Bojuka Bog and 1 or 2 Nile Spellbombs. We might bring in a Siege Smash. Maybe we'll go down an Artillerist and an Inquiry for another Siege Smash. 29 creatures is okay. We'll try it like that. Okay. What is this border, by the way? Prestige Huatli. Good hand if we can get the Cathartic Reunion off. Cathartic Reunion, a little trickier in these blue matchups. We really don't want that to get spell stuttered because we're discarding cards. We will kick things off with Faithless Looting, discard. I'm worried they might have a Bojuka Bog. So do we protect the Stinkweed Imp? Or do we make them have it? I guess we probably wanted to get rid of Sneaky Snacker instead as a decoy. They don't have Bojuka Bog. There's Modern Age, okay. They are shields down, so let's fill our graveyard. We will bring that back. Ooh. Okay, big sneaky snacker turn for us. We will pylons. Pyroblast we want on top. Nice, we got some protection. We will cathartic. So we've dredged once already, so let's not dredge because we want our snackers to come back. 3 snackers, just too juicy to pass up. And let's see if they brought in any like Drown in Sorrow or Arms of Hadar or whatever. It's not clear to me how often people bring that in against mono red. It's good sometimes, but we don't mind if some of our creatures go in the graveyard. They lose a cast down. Yep, not as efficient for them. And we want to just start dredging here. We have a Dread Return. We have Faithless Looting. We have another Dread Return in hand. Our hand doesn't do much, so we're probably trying to Faithless Loot this turn. Let's attack first. See what happens. They're thinking about something. They do nothing. I'm a little worried about them spell stuttering the Faithless Looting. Is it worth passing and just... But then we're not doing anything. We could Faithless Looting next turn with Pyroblast back up. But we're probably saving Pyroblast for Dread Return. Really don't want to give him something as spell starter. Let's try this. Let's try to just end the turn and see what happens. They get to use their mana. I am a little worried about Bojuka Bog, so maybe I should just be using my graveyard as much as possible. They do get their Vector Glider, huh? Maybe I should have Pyroblasted their thing. I think we still want to get in here. Keep the pressure up. Pyroblasting Vector Glider on their end step. That would have been a bold move, but possibly interesting. We do have a chance of bringing back our snackers this turn, so... Agony Warp. Okay. So they don't take damage. But then we Faithless Looting, and we could Pyroblast back up. Hydroblast, interesting. Well, I think getting 3 sneaky snackers back is pretty good. So let's fight this out. Not to mention getting, not to mention Faithless Looting effect itself. We get a Siege Smash. That could be good for attacking through with these snackers. I'm going to discard an Imp, and do we want to save an Imp just in case? Maybe. In case we need to refill our hand after a Bojuka Bog. Okay, they Brainstorm. We got all the sneaky snackers. Okay, so we're gonna blast through with these guys. Uh-oh. Lorien revealed. Okay, they're going big. So what we want to do is find our Lotleth Giant now. find Lotleth Giant because they are tapped out. We want to save Siege Smash mana, potentially. Lotleth Giant, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures in the graveyard. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to, like, Scrapwork Mutt, Neonate. Siege Smash represents saving one of our snackers and dealing 2 damage, so potentially 6 damage. I think we lead on Scrapwork Mutt and see if we can find a giant. We don't. We could Gatekeeper. We probably, I guess we could Gatekeeper Neonate, sack the Neonate to find Lotleth Giant. Surely, we've been here before, folks. Surely we've gone through more than half of our deck. Surely one of our 3 giants are in there. Yeah, we gotta go for it this turn, right? We could. Is it worth bringing back a Stormshriek Feral for some reason? Probably not. Neonate, get the extra damage. Sack Neonate. Yeah, we never find it. We never find it. We never find what we're looking for. We're still gonna attack. It's a lot of pressure. Is it worth bringing back anything while we have this Gatekeeper? I think we can get them with the Siege Smash next turn, potentially. Bummer. Okay. I don't think it's worth sacking 3 things to get the dragon or Artillerist. If we had discard effects, yep, there they go. We had it. We were so close. Well, I'm glad we didn't sacrifice everything. There's the Lotleth Giant. This deck is aging me. Okay, focus. Focus, Jeremy. If we attack, surely they have a blocker. Surely. But in theory, we have lethal. I think we gotta go for it. I mean, what else are we doing with this hand? Stinkweeds are a little defensive. Maybe that's the next turn if they survive. We need we'd love a discard 2 type effect. We will cast Siege Smash, targeting Sneaky Snacker. They could, like, Brainstorm, bring back... No, you can't counter that. But I assume they have a blocker? Oh, yes! Siege Smash, Siege Smash, Siege Smash. Wow, that's crazy. Take that, counter magic. Okay. Well, that was a funky one, but we got there. Okay. 1-1. Let's keep the party going. Okay, round 3 on the play. What's going on, you guys? Please, 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 lands, please. Okay. Not the fastest start, but we got our imps. Game 1, you've always got the advantage of opponent does not know what you're doing. I feel like we want the Epicures with the Imps. Maybe I get rid of a Gatekeeper from hand. You know, the nice thing about the Stormshriek Feral in this deck is it gives us a way, the Omen side of the card gives us a way to shuffle our deck. So that gives us the option of anything we put on the bottom, such as that Molten Gatekeeper, has a chance of being back in the mix as soon as we resolve a flush out. So that's pretty good. In a pinch, you could always put a combo piece to the bottom if you know you have a flush out and see if it'll get milled over at some point. Okay. Oh, we're against the Utopia Sprawl. So is this going to be Ponza or is this going to be like the Elves Stompy-ish one? Let's hope for Ponza. We can deal with Ponza. We don't need that many lands. We've got card draw. Let's get him for one. Epicure. And we'll just, we'll make him wait before we start dredging. Ooh. Bogles. This deck just bogles my mind. Okay, so in this deck, we're afraid of lifelink. We can chump block, but we're afraid of lifelink and trample a little bit. Not a great matchup. I think Molten Rain could be good here, potentially. Burning Inquiry is good. That could mess up their, you know, whatever creatures they kept in hand. But let's just try to go fast. That's all we got to do. Go fast and dodge a big lifelinker. Okay, we find a snacker. We have two sneaky snackers. Flying is looking good right now, so maybe I do this. And then we will not dredge so we can get our snackers. We have a lot with Giant already. Do I want to attack so I can get in 2 damage? Potentially 3 damage. Okay. Yep. We lose an Epicure, but we're knocking them down. We're going fast. Potentially hitting in for 5 next turn. I doubt they want to be on the blocking plan. Okay, they're rumbling, so they're a little slow. They do find the Armadillo Cloak, which they will keep. They find another Bogle. Okay. Let's see what we can do. We've got flyers. Armadillo Cloak's going to start gaining them a ton of life next turn, so this could be our window. Can we do a turn 4 win? We will dredge. We find the Dread returns. Oh boy. I think we can do a double. Yeah. I think we got there. Let's see. I think we can do a double Dread return here. Flush out, discard, dredge. Only got 5 creature cards. We attack in the air. We could attack with these 2, I guess, just to put more pressure on them. Lotleth Giant, sack, sack, sack. Rule of thumb, if you have 5 creatures out, you can double Dread return. So you want to get to that 5 creatures, and we don't even need the second one. We got there. Woo, okay, turn 4. Turn 4 win. We don't have Enchantment Hate, unfortunately. Molten Rain could be good. Inquiry, I think, is still good. What do they run in the way of Grave Hate? Bogles. Scattershot Archer. They just got the life link, right? So they're probably just trying to gain life. Okay, Molten Rain, we'll try it. We don't need Siege Smash. Breath Weapon, yeah, and the Festivities. It's only good if it's in your opening hand. I don't really want to focus on that plan. We gotta go fast. We gotta go fast. Can go down. Maybe artillerist is too slow. We'll go down one artillerist. Try it like that. Okay, can we beat Bogles? We got two more shots at it. We are on the draw this turn, or this game, so that's less good for us, but this hand is keepable. We got the inquiry. So let's see if we can mess them up. Okay, they get abundant growth. I think I want to just fire off the inquiry and hope that they lose their creatures or some crucial part of their... We find the Molten Rain too. Well, we might discard that, but let's see. See what happens. We lose the Molten Rain. They lose a Rumble and a Rancor. Okay. Rancor, that's going to be hard for them to get back now, at least. But... And we did get a Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard, but we lost our Mountain. Okay. We could have waited a turn. We really wanted to see them lose their creature. To that inquiry. I think it was worth a try, but a little bit of a bummer for us. We find the land. That's good. I think we Cathartic Reunion and get the Snacker out because it's a flyer. We did draw one card, so we can dredge Stinkweed Imp once, look for more Snackers, but then I think we want to draw the other two cards. And then we've got a Stinkweed Imp. We still want to find that third land, probably. Sometimes we can win off of two lands, so it's worth considering if it looks like it's fast enough. Ugh. Armadillo Cloak. Okay, they got lifelink. Wait, yeah, right, that's the arm. Yeah. It's the faux lifelink that they can double lifelink if they find another lifelink effect. Stinkweed Imp. We want that third land. There it is. We are hitting our lands a little more consistently, I think, with this. I'm feeling the 17th land. It's totally not a placebo. What do we want to do? We need to fill our graveyard as much as possible. Probably Scrapwork Mutt from hand. We could Gatekeeper from grave. I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to maybe Neonate Scrapwork Mutt. Nice thing about Neonate is you can block and sack it in response, so you can mess them up on a turn of lifelink. We find Dread Return. Okay, so let's see how much power they give this Ledgewalker. If it doesn't have trample, oh, it does. It already has trample. Discard is broken. Damn it. Okay. Well, so much for that. Anyway, if the creature doesn't have trample, you can always block with Neonate, sack it in response before the damage. It's got double trample now. And then prevent their lifelink. All right, chill out. Okay, 10 damage, trample. Bummer. It's gonna make it real hard for us to stop them. They're up to 31. This deck is not great at doing 31 damage that fast. But you know what? It's possible. Not if we mill 3 lands. This would need to be, to win this, we'd need to do like some kind of double Dread Return. It's not looking good, folks. Not looking good. We can Gatekeeper, Scrapwork Mutt. Gatekeeper. And get in for, that's 1 damage. 2 damage, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can hit them for 11, down to 20, down to their starting life total, and then what? Nothing. Ay. Okay. And we need to have enough toughness for the bounce back, which blows. Maybe there's a way. If we get some insane dredges here, we want to fill our graveyard. We needed another dread return, honestly. Because now we're going to need to sack the neonate. If we find another dread return and another Lotleth giant, we're probably still short. But we're going to dig. We're going to see what happens. Ugh, yeah, we only find one more creature there. I guess Lotleth Giant is our blocker to prevent us from dying. They go down to 14. They probably have, more enchantments to pump their Ledgewalker, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay. Well, we were close, though, and we were on the draw. If we were on the play that game, maybe there was a chance. So let's run it back. Let's try and mess them up with an early Burning Inquiry or a Molten Rain. This hand, we'll keep it. We've got a combo piece. We've got Stinkweed Imp, Cathartic Reunion. Maybe Molten Rain messes them up. Maybe Molten Rain's too slow. Maybe I shouldn't be doing the Molten Rain thing here. But we're on the play. Wish we had a turn 1 play. Wish we had a Faithless Looting or Inquiry. But alas, we do not. If we can find a third land off of the Cathartic, that would be great. Also, if we could find some sneaky snackers. We're going to discard Stinkweed Imp and probably Gatekeeper. Dredge. And we draw 2 more. Okay, we find a Burning Inquiry, but we do not find lands, unfortunately. Darn. There's their Ledgewalker. Oh wait, my Lotleth Giant, sorry about that, my Lotleth Giant could not have even blocked the Ledgewalker last game. Because it's got Reverse Reach. Good to note. Alright, well they're on track. There's the Sneaky Snacker. It's always one card further than you want it to be. So I think we Stormshriek Feral, get the Sneaky Snacker going. We have the combo. We just need creatures in our graveyard. But we probably want a Burning Inquiry too if we can find a land. Yeah, I want to get the Snacker down because it seems like that'll be important to sacrifice with the Dread return. We do find the land. Yep, we get our Snacker back. We will Burning Inquiry. Hopefully that messes them up. They lose their lifelink spell, potentially. They lose Glade Cover Scout and Malevolent Rumble. Okay, who knows what they drew. We've got Stinkweed in our graveyard. We got Scrapwork Mutt. We've got a Gatekeeper. Okay, this is the Molten Rain turn. Oh, we lost Molten Rain. Ah, shoot. Darn. Molten Rain would be so good here. That's okay. Eye on the prize. I think our Burning Inquiry's been hurting us more this round. So do we Gatekeeper, Scrapwork, Epicure? We can do a tiny Lotleth Giant. We don't have Grave Hate though. I think we should wait on the Lotleth Giant. I think we should just fill our graveyard. And it's possible if we find another Lotleth Giant, we're still on track. We could also we could save the Gatekeeper. We could Epicure and Blood Token. Depending on what we find. We find another Molten Gatekeeper, we find a Neonate, we find a Faithless Looting. We will Epicure. We're gonna attack for 4. So we've got 2 Gatekeepers in the graveyard. Do we Dread Return now? Or do we wait? I think we wait since we've only got 1 set here. I'm a little scared we won't find a way to discard things next turn. Yeah, I think we wait. Well, if we find a Lotleth Giant off of this right now, we do. With 8 creature cards, it's a little more enticing. We'd be hitting them for 9. Then they'd have to potentially leave back a blocker. We've got another one in hand. I think we do it in case something weird happens. Okay. They're down to 6, so they need to have... They might just have an Eldrazi token to block or something. Or a Slippery Bogle. Ah, I really wish we had that Molten Rain, but that's okay. We advanced our game plan. They're kind of stuck on a lot of these islands. Okay, first strike. We can't block it anyway. They get their warrior token for blocks. Oh, there's their lifelink. Ay. Okay. We might still be able to get there. Let's think about this. Up to 15. Our attack is not getting through. And we need a way to discard our Lotleth Giant. Land is not bad. Do we not have Faithless Looting? Oh yeah, we have 1 Faithless Looting. So we can't Scrapwork Mutt, unfortunately. We probably double Gatekeeper. That's 1 damage. And then Sneaky Snacker off the Faithless Looting. That's another 2 damage. They're down to 12. I think we're close. And then I think we got to try it. Yeah, I think we're close. If not, doing it. So we have to discard Lotleth Giant and Stinkweed Imp. Or any other creature really, but... Here we go, they're down to 12. We attack, we hit them down to 8. I think we got there. Could it be a victory? Oh, could it be a victory against Bogles? Yeah! Woo! Hip hip! Hooray! Okay, whew, that was dicey. See how much I'm shaking? Okay, on to the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ooh, okay, what have we got here? We're playing against Keith's dad. Well, Keith is really good at Magic, so I wonder if it runs in the family. We will keep this hand. We've got Epicure, Stinkweed, Sneaky Snacker. A little too many lands, but looks like we could be up against Madness or Affinity, potentially. Burning Inquiry, interesting. Here's the plan. We want to Epicure, and then next turn we'll look to discard the Sneaky Snacker off the blood token, and then get the Snacker back off of the Inquiry. Seems good enough. Ren's Resolve. Okay, this is a synth. This is like a red. This is just like a red attack me deck, but they're starting off with the Ren's Resolve, so maybe they're looking for action. No creatures is refreshing. Let's Pylons. Get a Dread return into our graveyard. Sure, sure. We will attack. Let's get this blood token. Get that Sneaky Snacker in the graveyard. Let's get Burnin'. Okay. Woo! Opponent loses a Flame Breather and 2 Galvanic Blasts. That's pretty huge, actually. We've got 3 power on the board, 2 power flying. It's going to be hard for them to block. And we've got the combo, and we've got a Stinkweed Imp. So, fingers crossed, friends. They have another Flame Breather. That's okay. They're probably synth. Yep, while they still can. Okay, so Flame Breather will stop our Epicure attacks. We've got way too many lands here, so... Okay, they exile a Fire Blast. I'm not sure that that's what they want to exile. It's a little early in the game for them to be sacrificing their mountains, but we'll see. Maybe they're thinking about it. Depends on what they have in their hand. If they have a land-heavy hand, maybe. Because that is a big chunk of damage. 5 damage. What is that? A quarter of our health? They are going to do it. Okay. That might slow them down, though. We will Stinkweed Imp. Okay, we find Faithless Looting and 2 Scrapworks. Question is, do I cast the Gatekeeper? It doesn't really attack well. It blocks well if that's what they've got going on, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we just want a Faithless Looting here. We will discard these 2. Yeah, we just want to fill our graveyard as much as possible. We're not too far away from winning here. We could like double Scrapwork into a double Dread return. Potentially. Yep, we will take the damage. I don't think they can do 13 damage in one turn. This tells me they're going to play maybe another Flame Breather. Oh, Ren's Resolve, okay. Yep, they're going for it. They have no lands to cast these 2, but these 2 are probably coming down next turn, so we've got a hasty Tomb Raider coming at us. Stinkweed Imp. Trusty Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, I think we just win here. We got double Lotlith Giant, which means we need to get our Gatekeeper out. Epicure. We want our 5 creatures, remember? 5 creatures for double Lotlith Giant. And we're even going to Scrapwork. Yeah, so really awkward start for our opponent, but we will happily take it. I think we might only need one of the Dread returns, actually. We will discard Stinkweed Imp, Dredge, Stinkweed Imp. We will Attack. Vicious, vicious mono red dredge. Fear me. Yep, we only need one of the Lotleth Giants. Sack, sack, sack. We'll leave the Gatekeeper in case there's any shenanigans. But yeah, another turn 4 win. Woo! So the turn 4 win is kind of best case scenario for this deck. There's probably a world where you can do turn 3 win. When I played Song of Blood, I had a weird turn 3 win, but usually turn 4 is the best you can hope for. Let's see. Golgari Brownscale is definitely coming in, and they also have Artifact Grave Hate, typically. So probably Siege Smash, some amount of Siege Smash, maybe go down some Inquiries. Do we go down the Artillerist? Maybe it's too slow. It's a good blocker, though. Brown Scales. Maybe only 2 Brown Scales and 2 Siege Smash? Do we go down all of the Inquiries? Maybe. I don't know. My problem with these red matchups is I feel like I have too much I want to put in the deck. I'm not sure what to shave, and this is my first time playing with the Artillerist version. Artillerist feels like a good blocker and a good alternate plan. Although if we're going down all of the Burning Inquiries, Artillerist is not as good. Just go, I feel like just Brown Scale, inevitably. If we get an early Brown Scale late in the game doesn't really help, but if we get an early Brown Scale and we can keep tossing it back and forth, it's usually pretty good. None of our sideboard cards in this hand, but it is a keep. We've got Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp, the most key card in the deck. The games where this deck struggles the most are when you never find a Stinkweed Imp or your Stinkweed Imp gets exiled. Very tricky. They've got a faster start this time, and they're on the play, so no fun for us. No relaxation. We will Neonate. I wonder if I just trade. I don't know. But Neonate represents... I don't really want to trade with the Percussionist. I would maybe trade with like an Epicure, but maybe they're digging for something. I don't know. They find a relic. Okay. So we want our Siege Smash. Conduit Pylons. Okay. We don't mind having a few things in our graveyard. Do I attack? Maybe now I'm supposed to block with the Neonate. Now that this discarding is not as good. I surveilled first because I wanted to find a Siege Smash, but maybe it was right to Faithless Looting, see if we hit another red 1-drop. It's probably correct. Probably just block. I don't want to take more damage from this. This is not going to be as smooth a game as the last one. Okay, we lose a mountain. Sure. We will discard a mountain, and we will discard... We could afford to lose one Stinkweed Imp. Discard a Scrapwork Mutt. Next turn, we have the option of Faithless Looting or Scrapwork Mudding, unless they exile our graveyard, which they probably don't want to this early. So we want to get as much value as we can out of our graveyard while we still have it. Looks like they're stuck on a land, though. Should I be blocking this? I'm sorry I'm getting choked up on this. But this, I mean, this represents like 4 or 5 more damage over the course of the game, so they might find their land. They find Chain Lightning, which they can cast if they'd like. Synthesizer. Lava Dart. Okay. They can't find their land, which means they cannot exile this turn. It's a shame. If we were set up a little better, we could potentially bring back our Lotleth Giant this turn, but we are not. We really want to find Siege Smash, but I'm going to play Gatekeeper just because it's a good blocker and a good attacker against them while we kind of bide our time. We have to exile a Neonate. They will Chain Lightning our Gatekeeper, sure. It's not going to our face, at least. They still don't have a land. Okay. We could Cathartic Reunion now and see what we find. There is a world where we find a Dread Return. We bring back 2 Molten Gatekeepers. It's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. Or maybe we Scrapwork. Maybe we Gatekeeper Scrapwork Mutt. And if we find another Gatekeeper... No. Let's try to Cathartic Reunion. We need to draw some cards and get some plan online. If they're down to 1 land, we wanna keep the pressure on. Okay. We do not have a Dread Return. But we do get to... We could Neonate and Gatekeeper and find... No, we're not going to find Dread Return. Let's just keep the pressure on then. We do not find Dread Return, but our graveyard very tempting for them to... We lose 1 Siege Smash. Graveyard is very tempting for them to destroy, but if they take a whole turn off to do that, that's tough for them. So I just want to keep... Yeah, they're going to need to cash in the draw card. Maybe I should have anticipated that, but we've got a good hand here. We lost 2 Lotleth Giants, so that's not good, but we've got our Stinkweed Imps. I believe we can find another. I believe. And they still did not find their land, so let's go fast. Okay, we found a brown scale, so we can gain life. Well, hold on to this mountain for now. Maybe we want it for a Cathartic Reunion or something. Oh, they're so pissed they can't find another land that we win. They had a chance there. I mean, I don't know, maybe not. Cool. We beat Mono Red. They did... Oh, they disconnected as well. Complete rage quit. Sorry, Keith's dad. Yeah, they did stumble a bit. Games 1 and 3. But we did it. 3-1. On to the final round. I'll see you there. Okay, round 5 on the play. I like this. I like this hand quite a bit. We're gonna keep it. Sneaky Snacker start. No Artillerist. I always make these videos to try out a new card, a new version of the deck with a new card, and then that card never shows up in the games in the video. So we might have to make another one. We lose all the wrong cards with that Burning Inquiry, And it looks like we're against mono blue. This is a tough matchup. It's very tough, or sorry, Fae. Very tough matchup. Spell Stutter Sprite, really tough against our deck. Maybe we wanted to wait with the Cathartic. We could have messed them up though. They don't run that many islands. Maybe they needed that island. That is beautiful. Our opponent is out swagging us with their lands. No, too many. Darn. This was supposed to be the sneaky snacker dream. To be fair, they could have a spell pierce or something. Maybe like holding the Cathartic wouldn't have done anything, but we don't know that. Yeah, see, like they have a Fairy Miscreant and they're holding up something. So I'd love to draw a Faithless Looting right now. Gatekeeper. Yikes. This is not the card we want to draw, but if they've got ninjas, Gatekeeper is not a bad situation. They're going to run out the Brineberry Intruder, so maybe they have an of one mind that they're going to fire off. They don't want to use the Brine Barrel for a combat trick. Yep, there it is. Going to draw cards. They are snapping my guy. Very sad. Very sad for me. All right. Well, feels like we're behind. They're starting to out-tempo us. We've got nothing going on here. Very awkward hand. Another Gatekeeper. Well, we got to keep casting them, I guess. Slow them down. Yep, they can counter it. I mean, if they want to run through their counters on the Gatekeepers, it's not the worst, but I really wish we had other things going on. Gatekeeper, people tend to value it highly when it's on the field, when really the strongest thing about it is the Unearth, the ability to bring back creatures for a Dread Return sacrifice for only 1 red. But in this case, it makes sense, so they can do some ninjutsuing. But yeah, really awkward start. Burning Inquiry kind of screwed us there, I think. Otherwise, we'd have some snackers attacking. The Prophecy, could it be? They're definitely going to counter this, huh? They cannot spell stutter it, but if they have another counter spell, they can counter it. Both of these are good blockers. I don't know. I'm going to try to cast it. I mean, really, I just want to cast it for the video, but is the right play to Gatekeeper and then leave the cycling up? Yes, probably. Probably. I'll be responsible. We'll see. We will see. If we had, like, Burning Inquiry and stuff in hand, we might be trying to resolve this, but spending 3 mana on this and just getting it countered feels bad when we really need more action here. We could always save it to potentially activate the Sneaky Snacker as well. We do slow down their ninja, but they get big ninja, sadly. Drawing a card, yep. Oh, they've got so many cards. I wonder what that feels like. That must be so nice. They draw a card. Do they have a land? They don't. Interesting. I'm going to hold the Artillerist in case we have the option to use the draw to trigger Sneaky Snacker, or maybe even cast it. Who knows? Who knows? Ay, ay, ay. Do we want to cycle and hope we hit something? Once this is down, they can just snap it probably. But we'll block their ninjas. It's not a terrible idea. They don't have that much. We got a lot of damage here. We're not doing what the deck wants to do, but we might be pinging them. I'm gonna hold this land. It's rare that we ever need 6 lands. I'd rather have some discard fodder or just bluff that we have something. We're gonna hold these guys back. I don't want them drawing any more cards. If we can cut off their card draw engine, that would be good. Chances of that are pretty slim though. They've got a lot of action. Looks like they drew a land for turn. So now they're on to their hold up counterspell, spell stutter, and still able to cast their flyers. Not good for us. But they cannot attack. There's Stinkweed Imp, very awkward. We need discard spells. The longer we wait, the worse it is for us. Do they have another ninja? They don't. But they're hitting their land drops. That's a lot of stuff to fight through. Oh my god. This game has been a disaster. Yep. What was the other timeline like? I'd be living in utopia. I would have cathartic reunion, 2 sneaky snackers. Would have been pressuring them. Now they're getting to scry while I just sit here and cry. They're gonna scry. 2 to the top. This is a disaster. They're attacking. I play this Faeries deck a little bit. You really want them to... you really need to be getting these ninjas to get your card draw going, otherwise you kind of run out of stuff to do. But they're also running like Harrier Strix and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start tapping down our friends here. Ay, what's going on with this sneaky snacker stuff? I think I want to discard the Stinkweed Imp. Yep, they're going to spell stutter that. I think I'm still going to unearth the Scrapwork Mutt, which they cannot counter. I really need to find some... You know, the sneaky snackers are nice, but if I could find a Faithless Looting or more Scrapworks, that would be great. We find a Lotleth Giant. Magmakin Artillerist. Getting in for some damage. Fortunately, we're kind of back where we started. Oh, shoot. Misclick. I meant to attack. No. No. Well, they would have been at 15, so I hope that doesn't bite me in the arse. Yep. They get in with their flyers. Praying they don't have another ninja to return their spell stutter, but I just spoke it into existence, didn't I? He's right behind me, isn't he? Yep. And we're dead in a couple of turns here. I'm sure they found another counter spell by now. Spell stutter cannot counter Dread Return. Another Artillerist. Please, please. I don't think this does us much good. I think I want to discard this. We need to make something happen, right? And it represents 2 damage. This is just such an awkward draw here. I guess we could get our sneaky snackers going as blockers. No, we can't. We draw another land. So 17 lands is kind of hurting this game. If we could draw a Stormshriek Feral, that would be kind of sick. Oh, we're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. It's so bad. What an anemic game. Turned off auto yields in case they bounced our artillerist, and then we could use it to cycle it to activate Sneaky Snacker, but no such thing happened. Fairy Seer. Ay, ay, ay. Looks like a breath weapon would be nice. Yeah, our deck has just done nothing this game. Just drawing the wrong cards in the wrong order. They didn't have a particularly strong start. Like, they've been kind of trapped with these guys. So, feels like for how many turns we've done nothing, feels like if we drew one or two more looting spells, we could have won this, I think. This is a bad matchup too, so we really wanted this game one win, because they're probably going to bring in Relic of Progenitus. They've just got so much. Now they can spell stutter our Dread Return. Oh my god. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They win. Oh, that was bad. That was just bad content. That game was just bad content. Breath Weapon or Pyroblasts. Artillerist. It's okay there. Pyroblast is okay. This is another matchup where like a lot of things are kind of okay, but go down a couple inquiries, a neonate. How often do they actually run? Mono Blue Faeries, very popular right now. Relic, yeah, they probably will run Relic. Let's get a little bit of a sample size going here. They might just be on the Hydroblast plan, which is why we're bringing in our Pyroblasts. Fire versus water. A tale as old as time. Doesn't water usually win? Okay. I don't know. We don't want to go too heavy on the siege smashes then. Maybe we're focused on Pyroblast breath weapon plan. We'll go down one artillerist. I'll try it like that. Oh, don't do this to me, deck. We are on the play. We need to hit a land. If we do hit a land, it's nice, right? Remember all those lands we hit last game? Surely, with our 17 lands, we'll hit a land in the top 3. Great. Okay. Maybe I should have discarded a combo piece there. I'm kind of protecting the combo a little bit. Maybe we wanted to cast the Gatekeeper. Okay, we found our land. Yeah, 17 lands coming through. Okay, we will Scrapwork Mutt. We will discard Lotleth Giant. We want to hit our 3rd land before doing any stinkweed shenanigans here, I think. We may Burning Inquiry into Stinkweed in case we find a Sneaky Snacker. They are representing a counterspell. We find our land. We will attack. I think we'll try to Scrapwork Mutt first. Okay, they're going to Intruder. Sure. They're going to kill our Scrapwork Mutt. So now we will Burning Inquiry first in case they have Spell Pierce, and hope to keep one of these. Please, 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 don't screw us. What do they got? Oh, they got Blue Elemental Blast. Sure, sure. They're using Blue Elemental Blast on that. It's one less thing they'll counter later. And we can start dredging. We do lose our breath weapon, so we're off of that plan. Yeah, we just need to slam through Lotleth Giant as soon as possible. So we don't want to lose our creatures. They need to have counterspell. Do we neonate? No, they could spell stud or neonate. Let's try to flesh out. That would bring back our snacker. Are they going to Blue Elemental Blast? Sure. They've got all the Blue Elemental Blasts, but hey, we got a dragon in our graveyard now. We can just neonate. See what happens. Really trying to keep us off 3 creatures, huh? I will not attack, unfortunately. It's gonna be a tricky game. They are getting some tempo action. We're on basically 0 cards in hand. What do they scry? This will tell us something. 2 bottom, okay. I'm happy to see that. Is this a ninja? Is this a ninja? Do I block this? If it's not a ninja, if it is a ninja, if it's maybe we want them to tap out if it is a ninja. I won't block. I'm hoping it's the 2-mana ninja, yep. Because otherwise they can just get it next turn. We can block the ninja potentially. Or they're a little more shields down if we can go for a Dread return this turn, is what I'm hoping. They might have Spell Pierce though, so that's what I'm kind of scared of. We could go for looting. Looting would bring back 1 snacker. I think we want to go for Scrapwork. They're not going to have Spell Pierce, right? They wouldn't do that. Spell Pierce isn't that good against Dread Return, right? So maybe we Molten Gatekeeper. Scrapwork? Dredge. I'm just scared of Spell Pierce or Force Spike. That would be embarrassing. Imagine if we get Force Spoked. Spoketh. Scrapwork Mutt. We will get to attack for a little bit of damage here. Potentially. 1 damage. I should yield to that. Okay. Fill up our graveyard. And if they're holding up a Blue Elemental Blast, that's not going to stop our Dread Return either. We will attack. I want to leave this guy back to block, I think. I'm not sure. 8 creature cards, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Damage, potentially? Let's see what they do. They've got an intruder. Ugh, should have thought of that. That might mess us up here. So they can kill 2 creatures. Oh, we knew they had the intruder from the ninjutsu. So the right move was just to hold everything back and Dread Return? I guess. Let's see what they do. And then we'd have a 6/5, but nope. Menace. You're gonna have to block something else, buddy. Does he block the Scrapwork Mutt? Yeah. Bummer. Darn it. My bad, my bad. So we could have played that differently. We should have held back this Scrapwork Mutt, and then if they kill that one, we're still okay. I was trying to like allow for being able to sacrifice this and dredge some more. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I don't think we've drawn enough cards to get the snacker back. Bad turn. We probably lost the game there. Nine creature cards. Yeah, we would have been pretty close to killing them. I think we need to keep dredging, hit more Molten Gatekeepers, potentially, and dodge counter spells. Okay. He picks up the Brine Barrow. Brine Barrow, Brine Barrow. He has a Brine Barrow and one unknown. Actually, see what they discard. They don't have to discard anything, of course, so they're refilled. They need a counter spell to counter Dread Return, I think. I think. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Let's keep filling our graveyard. Oh, we find just one more creature, so that doesn't help us too much. I think we need to unearth. Ay. We could have gotten the sneaky snackers back if we opted to draw instead. I think we need to find another Molten Gatekeeper. Be our best bet. Off of this. We do not. It's not coming together. It is not coming together at all. Darn. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, we might have thrown this. They choose to lose their Faeries rather than Brine Barrow Intrudering, which tells me they probably have Counterspell and or Spell Stutter plus a Blue Elemental Blast type effect. But yeah, being stuck on 3 lands. If we had, this is a matchup where we want like 4 or 5 lands. We can start like Faithless Looting plus Scrapwork, and threaten the sneaky snackers. Otherwise, we're having trouble getting to 3 creatures. We will sack that in response, sure. They might just have Relic of Progenitus at this point. Maybe they're baiting that out. They did just draw a bunch of cards. We find another Gatekeeper. It's still awkward though. We can only get 2 creatures back, it looks like. Unless we can get our snackers online. Or we find another Gatekeeper. At this point, they have to have a counterspell in there, though. Not good, not good. They're discarding islands. Oh, no, no, no. They're scrying. Well, it's looking like this one is not going so well. We could steal it if they don't have something, but it's looking pretty rough. Conduit Pylons, not bad. Not bad. We get a little look-see. Another land. Graveyard. So what are our options? We can try to go for the Faithless Looting, but that leaves us vulnerable to Spell Stutter Sprite. And then we're doing nothing this turn. We could try to go for Gatekeeper, Scrapwork, find another Gatekeeper. That leaves us, and then Dread Return. That leaves us only open to Counterspell, but not Spell Stutter Sprite. Maybe we do that. Yeah. Try to Gatekeeper. We'll just do it first. They could have Snap. That could mess us up too. Snap in response to our 3rd creature entering the battlefield. Here comes something. Oh, yeah. Destroy target red permanent. Sure. So did we try to draw a card? If we draw a card rather than dredging, then we could find a 1-drop that sneaks through. We don't. If we found like a Neonate, I guess, we could have sacrificed that. Bummer. Bummer, bummer, bummer. If we found Neonate and they didn't counter it, yeah, not good. Not good. Well, let's whittle them down. We could still steal this somehow, but it's tricky. Very tricky. We could consider casting Stinkweed Imps on future turns, but we gotta tap out for that, and that leaves us so vulnerable. Yeah, they're just drawing so many cards. They would have to be getting really unlucky for us to steal this, honestly. And we're dead next turn. We've used 3 Scrapwork Mutts, so if we dredge and we find Scrapwork Mutt and our other 2 Gatekeepers, yeah, they're discarding ninjas at this point, so that means they've got plenty in hand to deal with what we've got. I think we do want to dredge still. We find a Gatekeeper. So what does that mean? We have to cast Faithless Looting. And hope that they don't have a counter, which is very slim chance at that. Spell Pierce. Well, that is why I did it first. We'll pay the 2, but now we can't get 3 creatures out unless we draw land and a 1-drop. Oh, we don't even get our snackers back, huh? Yeah. Ay. Well, we lose. Okay, well that was a very awkward match to end the league. That first game, I think it could have gone a different way if we were able to resolve that cathartic reunion. They still might have been able to counter it, but we didn't know what we were up against, so we went for it. But anyway, not upset about a 3-2. We did not get to test the artillerist. We saw it a little bit in the last game, but I'll have to make another video and test it out a little further. Otherwise, it went pretty well. We had a couple turn 4 wins. We beat Bogles, we beat blue-black control, and mono red. So we beat some strong decks for sure. Burning Inquiry seemed to be hurting us a little bit, but you have to play the Burning Inquiry if you're playing Artillerist, and on average it's going to help us more than it helps the opponent. We did get rid of a couple of Bajuka Bogs. Yeah, that Tron matchup was really rough. Tron is rough right now, and the Mardu and the Boros Synthesizer decks really tough right now because they're running all this main deck Grave Hate, main deck Relic of Progenitus or Nile Spellbomb, and sometimes even Bajuka Bog. So it's tough out there as a dredger. My heart goes out to all of you fellow dredgers out there who are watching and biting your nails. Will they have a Bajuka Bog? Will they have a Nile Spellbomb? Anyway, thanks for watching though. That was fun. Thanks for joining me on this journey of pain and pleasure. And I hope to see you next time. And feel free to subscribe if you want to be in the know when my next video drops. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.